lesson in life that the way that things are, and then there's the way that things seem. 90% about what we stress about is the way that things seem. It's not always bad news, even though it might look like it. Yeah, and sometimes things are exactly how they seem. God damn it. It is now Tuesday afternoon. I'm now just picking up the van. So here's the score. Here's where we're at. I'll explain this thing here in a second. Van broke down on Thursday afternoon. I was heading to another client to detail their vehicle. Van broke down all of a sudden, right? There was something going on where it was going into a rough idle to the point where it choked out the vehicle. I start diagnosing in my head like, okay, it's either fuel or air ratio. There's something that's not right, because what'll happen is if I let the car rest for, the van rest for about 5 or 10 minutes, I can start it right back up. So something is impeding the ability to mix the air and fuel correctly, and it is something that is not consistent. My first guess was the EGR valve. That was my first guess. Thursday, had it towed to the mechanic shop. They called me on Friday and they go, hey, good news. It was a vacuum leak. They had told me it was a vacuum leak on the exhaust manifold. There's no vacuum on the exhaust manifold as far as I understand. So I had questions. And so when I talked to the master technician, and he goes, yeah, it was just the vacuum line that was loose. And I said it couldn't possibly have been a vacuum line, because that would have made it consistent. It would have either consistently run lean, or it would have consistently just died. It wouldn't have just been intermittent like that. Because he had said the vacuum line on the exhaust manifold, I had then pieced together, okay, cool. The EGR definitely is top priority on what's wrong with this van. So I said, did you check the EGR? The technician had told me, I looked at it, and I said, I don't know what that means. Did you test it? Did you pull it off? Did you see if there was carbon buildup? For those of you who don't know, EGR is exhaust gas recirculation. What it is, it's this little valve that does hook up to the combustion chamber, and it pulls exhaust fumes, and it puts air back into the combustion chamber to cool down the combustion chamber during the processes. So that would make sense, that he's like, oh, the vacuum line was loose on the exhaust manifold. So we're sort of on the same page. I just disagreed with the diagnosis. And I said, I really want the EGR valve looked at. I think that that's the culprit, because if that valve gets stuck open, then there's way too much air going into the combustion chamber, and that could choke out the combustion process. And he goes, no, it was just the vacuum line, no big deal, send you on your way, Bob's her uncle. Okay, you're the master technician, like I'm a detailer, I'm no master tech, right? I know just enough about mechanics. Drive away, this is Friday afternoon, I don't even make it to the house. Breakdown, can't start it, gotta call the tow truck, get it towed, made it to the house, called the mechanic back and said, yeah, it broke down again. They were like, oh, I don't know how that could be. And I said, I really want you to check the EGR valve. I believe that that's it. They called the tow truck. They had it towed to the shop on their dime, as they should. Here's where it gets really stupid shitty. Friday at 5:22, my van is dropped off at the shop. They close at 7:30. The van is not worked on at all that day. I have to call Saturday at 4 p.m. to be told, after 20 minutes of them even looking for my van, it took the guy 20 minutes to figure out who I was, where my van was, what had been done to the van, things like that. Finally gets on the phone. Oh yeah, wait, we got your van. That's good news. That's good to hear. We should get to it by the end of the day, if not, tomorrow. And I made a big fuss about that, because my van should have been top priority. My van should have taken priority over every vehicle that came into that shop on Friday morning, because of the fact that I had already been there, and I broke down now again because of their failure to really investigate what was going on with this van. So I was fuming about that. Sunday, they're short-handed. They can't find anybody to work on the van. So again, I have to wait another day until the actual store manager comes in. Called him just livid about what was going on. They finally figured it out. Oh, surprise! It was a bad EGR valve that was stuck open. So they had to replace the EGR valve. Cool. For days I haven't worked, so I don't have much content for this week's vlog. So I'm gonna throw in a little bit of clips from last week that I didn't get to edit in. This has been an absolute nightmare. Tires Plus dropped the ball, so that means that I dropped the ball on my customers. It's my job to basically pick the ball up and fix this, make this right.
Give us a wave.
This is my badass ride. Driving around Long Island in this ride.
There's a car trying to get past you.
Alright, so the F650's finished. This thing desperately needed a bath. It's probably the best it's been. Now that we finally were able to get the boom lift and actually get this extended. For those of you who are interested, I believe that this vehicle scans cargo. So, you know, the big trailers that are on the back of semi-trucks, they'll get carted through here, x-rayed, scanned. They'll probably do inventory on it just to make sure that everything is the way that it should be. If you know more about this, definitely let me know, but I believe that that's what this is used for. So, pretty high-tech piece of equipment for this truck, and it looks good now. So, on to the next job. So I'm working on a 2018 Nissan Titan, and on the interior, the customer was complaining about an odd smell. As you can see, the interior is in really good shape. There is a smell. It's not a bad odor, but it definitely has a distinct smell. And I found out what it was. All right, so I actually don't know what's under this tarp. I'm out here just doing a car, getting ready for a car show, and so I've got kind of a surprise here waiting for me. So let's do the big reveal. All right, so I think that's a 2005, somewhere in that range, 2005 Ford Mustang. Yeah. Personally, I just find Mustangs to be boring, but doing it inside out. Fun fact, I'll show you this. Did you know that a lot of car shows, so this one's gonna enter the car show. He's got a couple stickers on here from car shows that he's done before. I can tell by the gloss that this is ceramic coated. Did you know that a lot of car shows actually will disqualify you immediately if they know that your car is ceramic coated, because they call it like a fake shine. It's not real because there's a foreign substance on here. Unlike an organic wax, like a carnauba or something, ceramic coatings are so easy to make any car shine, no matter the paint grade, right? So just a little fun fact. But see some water spots, things like that. We'll take care of all that. The wheels definitely need a little bit of attention, and the door's locked, which it's not supposed to be. Maybe it's just the driver door's open. Nope. Okay. Gotta make a phone call. All right, so not much. I mean, there's some sand down there and stuff like that. I pulled everything out of the trunk, and looking in the interior, I think it really is just that it's just been sitting in the garage for a while. It's not that dirty, but you can definitely smell it. It needs to be aired out. And then there's just, you know, a little bit of hair, a little bit of dust. Like, it just needs kind of a once going over. So nothing too exciting, but nice car. I'm dying out here with my allergies. But anyways, another thing that I want to tell you guys is that I am not a fan of car covers at all. I think that a lot of damage happens to paint with car covers, because what happens is if your car is not perfectly clean, or the car cover is not perfectly clean, or at one point your car wasn't perfectly clean, you put the cover on, you took it off, you washed your car, the car cover is not clean. When you are dragging that cloth across your car with either the contaminants on the cloth itself or on the paint, you're dragging that dry contaminants, right? Whether it's dirt, dust, it doesn't matter what it is, you're dragging it across the paint's surface, and you can really scratch up your paint really bad. So not a fan of car covers. You're much better off just either waxing or ceramic coating your vehicle, and just realizing that you're out in the elements if you don't have it parked in a completely clean garage, and that it's going to get dusty, and that's kind of part of it. But if you go to properly wash your car, the paint is still good. Whereas yes, with a car cover, it will stop maybe the pollen or dust from accumulating. You're sort of trading that for scratches in your paint. So a lot of guys that I do car shows with, I will almost like be a bodyguard to the car, where it's like, I know the judges are coming around, I know you want to wipe this car down one last time, but there's a lot of sand blowing around, don't touch your car. So, you know, just informing clients of, like, you know, when to touch their car, and when. I know everybody wants to touch their car, everybody wants to make sure it's clean, but sometimes the way that we decide to do it can really damage the car. So just keep that in mind.